Fun fact, I find Waffle House to be deeply unsettling. When natural disasters strike, different scales and measurements are used to describe the power of these deadly forces in terms people can easily understand, and help paint a picture of exactly how much you're in for. Tornadoes have ratings according to the enhanced Fujita scale, hurricanes have the Saffir-Simpson categories, earthquakes have the Richter magnitude scale, and I guess blizzards are measured in inches. Man, this snowstorm's absolutely horrible. How do you know? Lost the yardstick. But here's the thing. Every scale I've listed describes only the intensity of a storm or natural disaster itself. None of them are used to directly measure the amount of aid required for disaster recovery after Mother Nature is done with you. When Craig Fugate saw the damage left behind by the Joplin tornado in 2011, he didn't ask what the EF rating of the storm was, or the costs and damages, or the amount of lives lost. He asked how the Waffle House was doing. And just like that, a new way of measuring just how you are was born. I'm Vibby, and on this episode of A Space Alien Explains, the Waffle House Index. I understand that some of my viewers have never heard of or laid eyes on a Waffle House before, so here's a quick rundown on what exactly we're working with. Waffle House is an American restaurant chain with around 2,000 locations, mostly found in the southern United States. It's considered a regional icon. Waffle House is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, which has created an urban myth that they don't keep any locks on their doors. As I mentioned, Waffle House is mostly located in the southern United States, which is an area very prone to hurricanes and tornadoes. Waffle House is known for its uncanny ability to spring back from even the most disastrous storms almost instantaneously. The restaurant's operations seem to hinge on one rule, which is get open and stay open. In some places, it's kind of an inside joke of sorts to ask if the nearby Waffle House is still open after a storm passes. Apparently, Southern survival instinct is knowing that if the Waffle House is everyone's The Waffle House Index kind of works the same way. The index has 3 levels, green, yellow, and red, which is based on the extent of operations at a Waffle House location after a storm. Green means the full menu is available, so everything's functioning as normal. Yellow indicates a limited menu due to low food supplies or lack of power, or they may be running solely on a generator. Red means the Waffle House is closed, or in some cases, the Waffle House is gone. So better pack it up and get going, cause the reason Waffle House isn't open is because everyone's dead. Just kidding, red isn't that extreme, but it could be, because if Waffle House is in the red, it's an indicator for severe damage. Once again, it's very rare to see one of these places close. On second thought, as long as they got a functioning stove, this one might still be open. The Waffle House Index is the creation of Craig Fugate, and this guy isn't just some bum rando. He was the administrator of FEMA during Obama's presidency. Craig Fugate grew up in the South, and has had some personal experience with Florida's crazy weather. It's part of the reason he got appointed to FEMA in the first place. In 2011, an EF5 tornado tore through Joplin, Missouri, leaving thousands of homes and hundreds of businesses completely destroyed. Despite the catastrophic damage, both the Waffle Houses in the area still managed to remain open. To Craig Fugate, this was a sign that the local economy hadn't shut down completely, which meant a swift recovery was still entirely possible. It also reminded him that the world could literally be ending right now and Waffle House will still be open. Although the Waffle House Index is considered an unofficial informal metric, FEMA still uses it alongside other formal measures to determine how much assistance needs to be sent to an affected area. Like, they'll literally check on whatever Waffle Houses are nearby and just be like, hey, you aren't completely are ya? The waffle's still okay. As I mentioned earlier, it's really rare to see a Waffle House go into red, but I'm sure some of you are curious about when was the last time that's happened, because if a mile-wide tornado doesn't shut down the Waffle House, what does? In 2020, around 400 Waffle Houses closed because of, you guessed it, the Rona. 2020's Waffle House Index was red. Fitting for a year universally described as an absolutely disastrous steaming pile of shit. If we could mention one major disadvantage to this system, it just doesn't work if you don't live near a Waffle House. Similar chains like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks don't share the same get open, stay open philosophy. They're not in as big of a rush to open after big storms strike, so they can't be used as an alternative for parts of the country lacking a Waffle House. Home Depot and Walmart might be the closest in terms of disaster preparedness, but they don't have as big of a reputation for it as Waffle House does.
That's nice, but why is Waffle House in particular unsettling to you?
Do you really find nothing suspicious about a chain of restaurants that virtually never close, are mostly unaffected by whatever God's vengeance throws at them, and are just unquestionably used as a measurement for how everybody is?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Waffle House is gonna outlast us, Pask. When we realize there's no way to reverse entropy and the heat death of the universe is upon us, Waffle House won't be doomed. Waffle House always remains. A big thank you to my honorary aliens Abu Kitty Chris and Poppy00. Stick around to the end of the video to see who else out there is also an honorary alien. If you want to become an honorary alien yourself, check out my Patreon. As of right now, all previous videos, including this one, are available uncensored on the $5 tier. So if you want to hear me say without the beep, hop on over to patreon.com/aspacealienexplains. And always remember, you may be gone one day, but Waffle House is eternal. Hi everyone! Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. This week's featured fan art is by Excludio A on Twitter. Link to the artist page is in the description. And here's some comments from the last video. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. If you'd like to support the channel, links to my Patreon, Ko-Fi page, and art commission info are in the description. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tea Ozaira for art and channel updates. Thank you so much again for watching, and here come the honorary aliens.